How you doing today, guys? Welcome back to another day of 7th grade math. This is Mr. Gomez, your favorite teacher in the whole world. And today, we're going to be doing a little bit of simple interest. And for simple interest, we have a formula, and that formula is going to be on your formula chart. And it's going to be this formula right here. We have 4 letters. I equals P R T. Notice I and P are uppercase, and the other two are lowercase. I stands for interest, P stands for principal, R stands for rate, that's going to be as a percentage, which you will have to convert into a decimal, and T is time. But before we start, I would like to invite you to go ahead and subscribe to this channel. If you haven't seen my other channel, I'll leave a link for you right up in here. And if you haven't seen my other videos, please make sure you check them out. And if you want to support this channel, there's a link down in the description. Let's go ahead and get started. So again, simple interest formula, I equals PRT. We also have another thing that is called compound interest, and we have a different formula for that, is below that. And we talked about that whenever we need to talk about it. For now, let's go back to the assignment. All right, so this worksheet was pulled out from Effortless Math. I don't know the rights for this, but we have a lot of examples that we're going to be working with. So, simple interest, determine the simple interest for these loans. So basically, every time you have a loan, most likely you're going to have to pay an interest. That's how the bank makes money, by you paying the interest with an interest rate. That interest rate is given to you as a percentage. But when anytime you're given a percentage, especially with interest, if you want to calculate something, you're going to need to convert that into a decimal. So let's go ahead and get started. Again, we're going to start by writing the formula. And we know that I stands for interest. R equals rate. It's a percent, needs to be. And T, time, in years. It is very important that anytime you're given time, it has to be as a format of years. So for example, if you're going to be financing for 5 years, you're going to do 5. If you're going to finance for a few months, for example, 3 months, you're going to have to make that as a format of years. So for example, 1 year has 12 months. So instead of putting 3, because that's the month, you can't do that. So you're going to do 3 out of 12. So 3 fraction 12, fraction 3 over 12. That's how you're going to have to write it. And if you can simplify, you can go ahead and do that as well. So for this example, I'm going to do a few examples, and I'm going to do, for instance, number 3, and number 9 right here on this first page. Because I want to show you the two different things when you have months and when you have years. So for example, on this one, we are only looking for the simple interest. So we're going to use the formula as is. You can manipulate this formula to do something different. In this case, we're not going to do, to find different, like the principal or the rate or the time, given the other 3 values. In this case, we're looking for the I. For all of these questions, 1 through 10, we're going to be looking for the I. So for example, I'm going to color code this. This is I. This is P. This is R. And this is T. I'm going to color code it. That way you know where everything goes. So for interest, I'm going to look for the interest. So I know my principal is going to be the red one. The principal amount, the amount that you're going to be asking a loan for, or the amount you're going to be financing, the money amount is going to be the principal. And then the rate is going to be your percent, but you have to convert that into a decimal. So in this case, it'll be 0.05. And then you have the time, and the time has to be in years. In this case, it's 6 years. Once we know the 3 things, we can go ahead and solve this. So I'm just going to do this on the bottom. I equals PRT. P is 1,300 times My rate is gonna be 5%, but I have to convert that into a decimal. Again, 5%, 1, 2, filling with zeros. 0.05 times my time in years. In this case, is 6 years. And all I gotta do that now is multiply all this. And I usually like to multiply the whole numbers together and then multiply by the decimal. And that's exactly what I'm gonna do. So for example, I have 1,300 times 6. That's gonna give me 7,800. And then I'm gonna multiply that times 0.05. And that's gonna give me $390. Now, that is the interest only. And this formula is given to you. They might even ask you for the new total. Like they might ask, how much are you gonna pay after the 6 years? Well, you're gonna have to pay more than $1,300. How much is that? That's when you're gonna add, to find the total, you're gonna add the principal and the interest together. So first you're gonna have to find the interest and then the principal, add them together, and that's how you find the total. So again, simple multiplication. You can multiply in any order, and that's it. Now let's look at number 9, because in this one, again, I have my principal is $1,600. My rate is 4.5, but I have to convert that into a decimal. And then my times, in this case, is 9 months. It's not even a year. That's what I say. The time has to be as a format of years. And this is what we're going to do. I equals my principal, 1,600, times my rate. Remember, this has to be 1, 2, filling with zeros. 0.045. That's my rate. Times the time in years. In this case, since I have 9 months, I'm gonna do 9 over 12 months. But I know that 9 over 12, I can easily simplify that by dividing by 3, and that's gonna give me 3/4. So I can use this fraction if I want, or I can leave it as is. But if I leave it like this, at the end, I'm gonna have to do a little bit of simplification. So it's up to you. It really doesn't matter. It's up to you. So all you have to do, you can either multiply this as fractions. Okay, once we have it as a format of years, 9 over 12, 9 months out of the 12, we can simplify this if you want to by dividing by 3, and that gives us 3/4. Now we can go ahead and multiply everything. We can multiply as fractions, right? You just put a 1 under, and this is going to give you 1,600 times 0.045 times 3. That gives you 216. And then the bottom is going to be 1 times 1 times 4, which is just 4. And then you're going to divide that. 216 divided by 4 gives you 54. So at the end of the 5 months, you're going to pay $54 in interest. Now, you can multiply this. You can change this into a decimal if you want. It'll be 0.75. And then you can just multiply everything. As long as you know that the main thing is to put it in as a format of years. If you have months, it'll be over 12. For instance, if they give you 1 year and 6 months, you're gonna have to put in 1. That's gonna be 18 months out of 12. That's gonna be your fraction, something like that. All right, so that's that. And then what is the value of the cars after 1 year purchase? Let's look at number 11. 11 is going to be something like finding the interest and then finding the new total. Okay, finding the interest and then the new total. It says a new car is valued at $28,000 and it depreciates at 9% per year. What is the car value after the purchase? So depreciates means to go down. The price of the car is going to go down. In this case, instead of adding, we're going to have to subtract. So this is simple, simple, simple. So all you got to do to find the interest, you're gonna basically the interest is gonna be whatever is gonna depreciate. So this is gonna be the principal, 28,000 times. This has to be a decimal, 0.09 times 1 because it's only 1 year. So we're gonna multiply 28,000 times 0.09 times 1, which is 2,520. That's how much money is gonna drop after 1 year of owning the vehicle. So all you gotta do is do 28,000, which is the original price. The keyword right here is going to be depreciates. That means subtract minus 25, 20, this is 0, this is 8, this is 4, this is 5, and this is 2. So after 1 year, if you want to sell that car, it's going to be worth $25,480. And that's how you find the depreciation. You're still going to use the simple interest formula, but in this case, instead of adding that price, you're gonna have to subtract it. Now, if they will ask you how much will you pay after the interest rate after 1 year, then you would have to add it. Let's look at number 14. Number 14 is one of the ones that you're gonna have to work backwards. $400 interest is earned on a principal of $2,000 at a simple rate of 5% interest per year. How many years was the principal invested? So in this case, now we are looking for the time. I know my interest is going to be 400. My principal is going to be 2,000. And this is something that I want you to do all the time. Start labeling. Label your rate, your principal, and your time. And the rate is going to be 5%. But you can go ahead and write it as a decimal right away. And we're going to use the same formula, but we're going to have to manipulate it to find the time. So, I equals PRT. We are looking for T. So we're going to substitute everything that we know. So, I equals 400. My principal is 2,000. My rate is 0.05, and I'm looking for the time. So I need to find the time. So this is now we have an equation with a variable that we need to look for. In order to find this value, first of all, we gotta leave t by itself, and we can do that with this operation there yet. So first, I'm gonna have to multiply 2,000 times 0.005. So 2,000 times. Now the easy way, you can multiply 5 times 2, that's 10. Add 3 zeros, that's 10,000. And then move 2 places to the left. You can do that too. Or if you don't know what to do, just go ahead and multiply. That's going to be 100. So now this part right here is going to become 100t. And on this side, you have 400. Now we have an equation. We have 400 equals 100t. And we got to leave t by itself. So look at 100 and t, and what are they doing together? 100 and t, they're multiplying. So to undo a multiplication, you must divide. So let me rewrite this. 400 equals 100t. I'm going to divide by 100, and what I do to one side, I must do to the other side. This eliminates 400 divided by 100. You can just cross out the zeros. So time equals 4. So how many years was that? It was 4 years. So you deposited $2,000 4 years ago at a 5% rate. You went to check your bank account. Now you have $400 in interest, or a total of $2,400. That's how you work it backwards. If you learned something today, make sure you hit the thumbs up button and share it with somebody who might need this information. If you like this video, make sure you, again, like it, share, subscribe, and comment down below if you had any questions throughout the video. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. Other than that, that is it for this one, guys. And I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.